Oh, come ye, my APAC warriors. We're in the penultimate day of the Kickoff Clash qualifiers. My name's Trid, and I am joined by Avril to decide who is going to get a spot in the first tournament for the East region. And Avril, today, well, we've already said goodbye effectively to two teams, but there's a lot of contention around that middle of the pack.
Also, I just realized, I think you're like slightly more dressed for the Hangzhou Spark. I'm slightly more dressed for the Guangzhou Charge. We've made our divides here. I think your team is probably slightly stronger, but that's besides the point. Yeah, this is kind of like final chance for a lot of teams to make it into the Kickoff Clash, right? A couple of teams, I believe, might even already be eliminated. We'll actually take a look at the standings and get a bit of a feel for where all of our teams currently are. Seoul Dynasty leading the pack 4-1. The only team they've lost to is Hangzhou Spark, and that was their opening game, but otherwise they've been dominant across the board. I think they are our most consistent team currently, and it's not Shanghai. Shanghai have won a bunch of map 5s. They currently get a map difference of 0, despite being on the same scoreline as Hangzhou Spark. The Fusion, who started out really strong in week 1, didn't do quite well so far in this week, still have an opportunity to bring it back, and they're going to need to, because it's between them and the Chengdu Hunters to decide who makes it into the top 4 to go to the Kickoff Clash. I believe only one of them will. Spark, Dragon, Soul most likely are in. Charge and Valiant probably out at this stage.
And that first week result between Spark and Dynasty might actually open the doors for Spark to secure first place seeding going into the Kickoff Clash, and a win here today against the Charge, a 3-0 even, would definitely set them up nicely for that. But there's your starting roster for today: Shy, Alpha Yi, Guangzhou, Irony, and Super Rich. A team that started off with a couple of rookies coming from Billy Bitty Gaming Club, but they have already made a name for themselves in the East region.
They certainly have, and I think they are firmly, we did see in the standings as well, and I think the standings kind of accurately reflects who I think are the best teams in the region currently, which are Seoul and the Hangzhou Spark. They are my number 1 and number 2. And Spark, they could actually even finish above the Seoul Dynasty as well, because they've still got more games to play. Seoul are 1 game ahead of them. Spark could very well go up 4-1 today, and maybe even 5-1. Seoul could still lose to Shanghai. There's a real shot that the Hangzhou Spark could be our number 1 seed going into the Kickoff Clash if they can secure their next 2 games.
We'll see how they do today against the Charge. I think you were calling it to the JoJo Derby, the JoJo Varsity match or something when we were warming up. The Guangzhou Charge. I don't know. You said you referred it into the Joe Showdown.
Yeah, welcome to
the Joe-down. Yes.
I was gonna wait till we get. What is a JoJo Derby? You're gonna have to educate me on that one. I'm not from the land of the UK, but. The Guangzhou Charge, as they come in with their standard lineup. Krong notably starting in as the tank, and the main difference here that you'll notice is that we did see Guangzhou on that starting lineup for the Hangzhou Spark. So both teams have kind of taken a different approach to our opening map here on Control, where, Charge want to be playing that Zarya type composition, and the Spark rather, they're going to be looking over towards more of a Winston type beat. So that's going to be already quite a bit of a difference as we get started in terms of how these teams are going to approach map 1.
You've already kind of given us a little bit of a spoiler as well. You revealed what? Oh yeah, we're going to Control. It's Control week anyway, I guess. The first map that we're going to be going to.
Huh?
Which Control map? Oh, that's actually a good point. You didn't actually reveal that one. I'm sure we'll get the nudge in a second, but I'm pretty sure that we're kicking off with... Is it Nepal? No, I don't think it's Nepal. Surely not. It's got to be Lijiang Tower, my good friend. It's got to be Lijiang Tower.
What's the other assault? What's the other Control maps we don't have? We have Oasis, Lijiang, and
Ilios.
Really, I've only seen those. Oh, Ilios. We don't have Nepal. I swear there's another one we don't have, but my memory is just poor right now. But can you believe? Can you believe we're already in week 4, final week? Actually, only been 2 weeks for APAC. It feels like it's flown by here, but
super condensed schedule, right? Like
Trid, I think as you are, Father Tridsmus gifted us today one of my favorite rivalries. I don't say this for every rivalry. I only say it for almost all of them. But this is a good one. This is the official Joe-down. And the last meet of these two teams was Week 18 2021, 3-2 victory for the Guangzhou Charge. And beyond that as well, part of the reason why this is exciting is that these two teams have such an even record. Guangzhou Charge are 5-4 overall in matches against Hangzhou Spark. That's all time. So over the course of their entire history, 9 total matches. Charge lead by 1. See what happens today. Ooh. Can Spark even it out? Charge going to take the lead even further than that. Starting out a Control center. Guangzhou on the Rhine. Krong on the Zarya.
He's going to be getting nice and close, holding the front line, denying Charge that high ground on top of steps. I'm sure they can rotate around to the point when that eventually unlocks. Struggling to get some charge on Guangzhou. Irony already picking up and winning that race towards the nano boost. They've gone for a nice flank around the side. Speed boost to get into position. Barrier down, but nice sleep dart there landing onto Guangzhou. Separates the fight. Charge have positional advantage, but they've lost far away early on into that engagement. Shy is just peppering damage on the Reaper. They'll try and rotate back around to the point. They keep the contest going. Develop is shut down even on the legs. It looks like first cap going the way of Spark.
Yeah, Farway goes down, Develop's on a big flank there, but Guangzhou Charge can't quite use that off angle to secure any sort of meaningful damage or kills. So Spark do as they normally would on a, I guess, mostly brawl composition. As soon as you play the run, you know what the objectives are, you know what the win conditions are. You have to be running down specific issues, you have to be running down specific targets here. And while they do get the very important ones, Irony way ahead of Farway, notably because Farway did die, so it should be seeing the nano here for Shy. Or Alpha,
yeah, given over to Alpha instead. I think they're trying to build up towards that blade. Nice charge in. Choice one will pick up Guangzhou. Alpha needs some healing, but that anti-nade being landed just at the end there will shut him down. This is a good opportunity for Charge to get the flip early on into the map percentage.
Yeah, Alpha really wanted to go deep there, didn't he? Choice one punishes nicely. Good opportunity now for the Charge to flip it over as they have. Ultimate's coming up in their favor. Farway will be looking towards that nano pretty soon. And need to see if Spark can get Guangzhou back into action to get a melee range or somebody. Get Shy in there as well. Shy doesn't have bubbles to play through from what would be Azaria, as you know.
Wait, where's Develop? He's up on top of the stairs, pops the tactical visor. Nowhere to hide, but the healing is good enough to keep Alpha Yi up. Choice one will burn down Super Rich. He's building up towards that sound barrier. Charge have a lot of tools still to make this work, but oh my goodness, Alpha Yi sneaks up behind Develop. Tries to salvage this one, but Charge will get the flip at 63%.
We're losing the one as well, so technically the visor doesn't get any kills, but will be enough to allow the Guangzhou Charge to move on up. Develop now changing over towards the Reaper, so this is interesting now where you kind of have brawl versus brawl. Before, when you had both an Echo and a Soldier, you could somewhat meaningfully say that could still be a poke composition. Now Charge are definitely going to be facing up front on against 100 Spark. Nano Blade coming through Alpha U.
Oh, nice reactions there with the Graviton Surge. It shuts down that big engage coming out from the Spark. Gets the sound barriers out from both teams as well. Choice one has the duplication building towards the Dragon Blade of his own. Gets the cut down onto Shy, pulls out the blade. He's looking for the back line of the Spark. Good disengage there, but he's keeping on the pressure. The Mega gonna make sure that Irony does not go down as the trades keep going back and forth. Nice attempt there from Alfie to cut Choice one out of the sky. The focusing beam comes right back. Bionade and a Lucio is going to keep that pack alive, and Charge remain in control, and they're about to surpass Spark's map percentage.
Yeah, outplaying Guangzhou's Earthshatter there as well. Choice one gets to play two of his best heroes in the same character, duplicating on towards that, the Genji. Nano coming through into Krong as well to save, but Shy's already in the back line.
Yeah, they couldn't really react to both of those threats coming out from the Spark, and with no supports for the Charge, this fight is over very early on into the engagement. Nice little run down there from Shy. They'll get the flip back, and Spark are in control, moving closer towards a nano boost, the only ultimate in their economy.
Yeah, I have to wonder if Fireway didn't quite have a sleep dart there, no ability for them to save themselves from Shy. TP into a Death Blossom, didn't even need a nano boost. It's coming online now for Irony for this next fight. As Spark will need to try and bring that home. The last 20% off a single nano boost. Charge don't quite have anything to work with just yet, so Spark are looking in control in terms of being able to finish this one off.
I think this Charge racing towards that Graviton Surge from Krong might be the best solution for them. Yeah, it's fantastic coming out from far away. Wasted the nano boost, and Alpha, you will have to go for a Dry Blade instead. Contesting Choice one on the outside. The pushing and the pressure is there from the backline as well.
Coming.
To move back to the point. Wait for it, it's 2% off. Gotta land it in quite quickly. It's overtime right now. Charge don't want to be giving up the first round here, but they have to wait for the right time to use it. Are only catching out the Shy. Guangzhou dives on the grenade to protect him. Keeps him up as Alpha Yi finds Farway at the back, pulls out the blade, wants to find the Lucio as well. There's no sleep dart to shut him down this time. He goes for the attack, but Develop comes out with the Death Blossom, and Charge will hold on once more at 99%.
So unlucky blade for Alpha Yi there, couldn't quite get Unique down. So the Farway was actually killed a little bit earlier on. The Grav lands on two. Defensive Bionade from Irony keeps him alive. Farway can't quite sneak in his own anti to kind of get those kills onto Spark. And now we're going to head to double 99s. Charge in the lead, and they have the ultimates to play with as well. Double sound barriers on both squads. If Charge survive against the Earthshatter, they should be able to get this one. It's all up to Guangzhou.
See where he lands it. Choice A1 drops down to the ground, chunked after duplicating the Reaper. Will sustain. Fire gets the grenade in. Choice A1's in the back. Oh, and they find that Earth Shatter shut down like you were talking about, Avril. Guangzhou is now not going to have that impact. Death Blossom gets cut short early by the expiration. Sound Barrier comes out for Unique after Super Rich used it earlier in the fight. This is an invigorated Charge in control of the point. And overtime will tech down. And to Charge, draw first blood.
Have to say, man, Farway's been doing some pretty nasty things. Shut down a Nanoblade from Alpha E earlier on. Shuts down Guangzhou there as well. Byronade just puts so much pressure onto him. The fact that he just, I don't know if he had an off angle there or just caught Guangzhou napping with his shield down for a moment, but as soon as he was tagged with the anti, Guangzhou felt like, I'm probably going to go down here. It's Shatter or nothing. Go hard or go home. And unfortunately for him, Charge will just demolish him, prevent the Shatter from even landing. That was the real big tool for the Spark to get it across the way. Patient play as well, because Guangzhou didn't want to just slam down into either of Krong's two bubbles there, so it was kind of waiting for the timings to become available. Charge played that masterfully, so get the one round in their favor now. Still 99-99. Mega competitive so far from what we saw on Control Center.
Still deviating with the compositions as well. They put Guangzhou over to the Winston this time around. Still running double legs. Alpha Yi sticking with the Tracer. They pulled out right at the end of Command Center as well.
So no Genji for this particular round. That'll be the big difference for Alpha Yi. Developed already down and low. Shy combining with Super Rich for that one.
Can't linger on that bridge. Super Rich is on the hunt right now, going for the environmentals. First cap definitely over to the Spark. Nothing much else they can do about that one. Unique. They actually jumped onto the Mercy here, so there's good pocket options there with the team.
And by the way,
on either developer choice they want.
The interesting thing about watching teams like this play on Gardens is typically Spark have played the Alpha Yi Pharah, and you know, they're not going to play the Pharah this time. They believe that Charge probably will counter them as they have. Choice F1 at Unique, their read is to play the Echo and Mercy combo. Perhaps even assuming that there was going to be a Pharah coming on through. Opening kill comes out, developed once again, but it is traded back.
Good answer there from the Charge. Still need to aggress and find a way onto the point. Shy at point blank range, guns Unique down in the street. There's not much else he can do right now. Choice A1 under pressure. The jump from Guangzhou is the thing that finishes him off. Charge can't find their foot even to touch the point at this rate, Avril.
At this point as well, when you look at the Charge's composition, once Unique uses Valkyrie, Brig could even be really good here just to stop Alpha E and Guangzhou from getting those dives in. You can still, you know, armor pack or heal pack Choice one from a distance. They need something to work with. Alpha E's on the hunt. Easy stay.
Beautiful. Beautiful stuff from Alpha E. They never saw it coming, and he's able to gun down all the retreating members. This is domination from the damage lineup of Spark. Easily done.
It is a 3 ultimate investment though, so you know, Hangzhou Spark dropping in 60% of their total ultimates, with one coming online. Super Rich not quite there just yet. Going to Charge now, they have the power within their hands. Nano and more Unique opted to stay on the Mercy, so no changes for now. They're going to move through towards White Room. And White Room would be pretty good for a grab play, but Krong is still quite a fair way off from that, which really tells you that Krong's just kind of struggled to find any damage so far in this round.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. This map might be over before he even has the opportunity to drop it. Nano Boost given over to developers, holding the tactical visor. 16 HP, they're on the hunt. Nice pocket coming in from Unique to sustain them. As the Helix rockets take out Alpha Yi in white as they're now sat on the point. Bubble given over. There's the tac visor. Shy just has to dip out of there with the legs. Nice retake from the Charge. They'll get the flip. Now they need to go for the assault against 99%.
And the important thing to note there was that Super Rich didn't quite have the sound barrier. He's only just got it now. Was on 99% just previously. Shy with the reset into his own Helix rockets, and Spark, okay, they only need the one and done here. So they're waiting for potential combo. Shy at nearly the 50%. Nano's already there. If they want to play this one dry, they can just go to Nano Guangzhou and hope for the best with the sound barrier if they require it. They assume that Krong does have a grab here, so I don't think Super Rich will use sound barrier until he sees the grab.
Well, there's that Nano Boost given over to Shy as Guangzhou takes a nap. Sprinting into the back line. Gun down onto Farway. Duplication with Choice A1 goes for the Tracer. Krong gets that grab out finally. As Choice A1 goes for the spray down with the Tracer Pulse Pistols. Unique brings Farway back into the fight, gives them a pocket to make sure they stay alive during the aggression. Guangzhou's caught napping once more, but Choice A1's going to catch one of his own. He will come out of the duplication. Those iframes keeping him alive.
Farway
gets taken out, and oh my goodness, this is not going to be good as the flip comes in. who's left up on the charge to try and contest this one. They're going to have to sprint back from respawns. I don't
it'll
think
be Krong coming on first. It's just Krong so far, but he's a solo tank. Once the power block is gone, this should be the cap. Guangzhou charge. I don't think they'll be able to do it with no tank available. They got no ultimates. Develop will be next to touch, and the Visor should finish this one off.
Yeah, who's going to be brave enough to peek that with the auto aim? Choi Se-wan can't even get a look in. Develop just a second too late, but like you said, Avril, it was never going to be a solid push for the charge. Tying out Lijiang Tower, we're heading over to Night Market to finish it off.
Yeah, really sad state of affairs in terms of how that tank battle went, and you know, in this sort of matchup, I think it can be hard to get value on that Reaper. You would love if Alpha Yi played, I think, even the Genji, but especially the Reaper into you. I mean, the Fire wouldn't be too bad. If you actually saw the Alpha Yi Fire, my guess would be that Krong would actually potentially even look towards a D.Va. I know that I don't personally think D.Va's great, but when the other team is playing Fire, there is an argument for it. So what you end up having is Winston versus Zarya, where Krong couldn't get any ult charge. Well, he couldn't get ult charge, and he couldn't get energy charge either. As Guangzhou charge really struggled to get too much done until the 99% mark, where they inevitably got their ultimates. I spoke about that Farah. Alpha Yi, you thought he might bring it out in the Gardens. No, it's going to be Night Market instead. Choi's ready though. They got the Echo unique Mercy combo versus the Alpha Yi and Super Rich Pharmacy combo.
Yeah, they knew this was coming. They had a preview of what charge were prepared to play against this on Gardens, but they're still feeling confident enough to bring it out on Night Market. Already getting peppered away from Choi Se-wan in the distance. Krong's winning out that tank battle this time, finding Guangzhou. Hopefully we'll beat him in the race and get those grabs online much sooner into the map before it becomes such a dire situation for them.
I think this is, you know, it's interesting from Charge. They probably were thinking about just playing this pocketed Echo anyway, because Alpha Yi hasn't shown his willingness to play Fire on Night Market just yet. So far it's only been the Garden, so there's a little bit new coming on through. Alpha Yi is struggling to find targets at the moment, as he's spending a lot of time, I think, just shooting Choi Se-wan. Only now is he going for more ground-based targets, and we traded tanks over. Krong gets res, but Faraway goes down.
Yeah, not going to have that in their disposal to bring Faraway back onto the map. Charge did get the cap off the back of that first fight, and now the contestants in from Spark. Nice directs there coming out from Alpha Yi. Should be able to finish off the Mercy quite easily. Misses the melee, just chasing down this lone Mercy, who's going to have to reset anyway, because this is not a winnable fight for them. Spark get the flip at 23%.
And actually kind of missing Unique a little bit there and slowing down the way you kill him, staggers him slightly, so, you know, you'll take those. A minor victory of a few seconds. Barrage available here, but really dangerous. I think, you know, we've seen previous games where Alpha Yi does a really good job of controlling space with the Fire, but when he goes for the barrages, it actually costs him his life, so has to be very careful about how he wants to approach those situations. And they'll probably nano him as well.
Yeah, should be the safest bet for them. Nice direct, bubble protected. Here's the nano. Uses the concussive blast to clear some space. Misses it on Choi Se-wan to get the finish there. So nano boost given over, but no kills confirmed. While this is all going on, Uniques have to dip down to find Develop. There's the bubble given over. Alfie doesn't have enough healing. He gets taken out by the Echo. Super Rich able to get a fast res off, though, to keep the status quo.
I'm pretty sure it's meant to be a one-shot rocket if you're on blue beam plus nano, but it's possible that Super Rich was actually on yellow beam there, so no one-shot direct to come on through. Develop, though. Yeah, he's got the damage from Sean. There it is. That barrage shut down straight away.
You're staring down the bullet or the barrel of a Develop with a tactical visor just coming off the back end of that one.
Choi's got a visor
Never
as well.
going to work out well for you. God, yeah, but that fight was already won. It's nice of him to pick it up at the end.
It's funny though to see
Yes,
the double visors.
I'll give you that.
Through.
Everyone gets aim.
Style points. Style points. 4 ultimates burnt from the Guangzhou charge. Expensive way to win a fight. Still roughly 30% down compared to where Spark are. They only have the Primal to work through, but it'll be Primal versus Grab pretty soon, and, you know, I've mentioned plenty of times, expectation for these Grabs is probably just solo here, and if you solo Gushra, he will Primal as a defense. So Gushra should probably even hold for that. Decent combo from Choi Se-wan. That's beautiful stuff.
Beautifully done. And Choi Se-wan gets the camp on the corpse to shut down Super Rich as well. Spark had an opportunity to take it back. They've already lost it just as fast as they earned it, and Charge are keeping this map competitive.
I mean, this is so important for Charge because now they can actually get that grab underway. If you are Krong, I think, you know, you're even looking for a long-range solo onto Irony. That would actually probably be a more ideal target. That or Shy, either or will work for you. There's 2 Echoes in the skies that really try and do this one. Alpha Yi went for Unique, but Choi Se-wan wins the actual Echo duel. So unless there's going to be a res, this doesn't really mean a lot. Looks like Super Rich is going to die anyway.
Yeah, the corpse went off the edge of the map, Avril. I don't think they can get the res off, even if they wanted to right there.
Charge have even done.
Big for Charge. Yeah, they're on the cusp of being able to win this entire map and start off the series in a positive position. Alpha's gone over. Alpha's still on that echo for the time being. Just to find a way in. Krong's sitting on the grab as we're heading into this final fight territory. This is not looking good for the Spark.
Yeah, good shit force the primal here. Went too low, does want to get beamed down. And no grab, shy beams down Krong. Speaking of beam, Jesus.
Oh, he's being pummeled in the corner as well. Far away, can't get a look in charge. Have come back. If they can get, they've got a fast flip as well, Avril. Krong's going to have to sprint it with his tiny little Russian legs to get back to the point with that Graviton Surge if they have a hope of trying to win this first map.
Well, who can touch? That's the bigger question for me right now. Probably ends up having to be Choi or Unique, which is not ideal. Develop has a soldier. No one can swap to a Trace, so you kind of just have to go for this. And they have 5 ultimates. So technically in charge, if they can stall this one, they can win because they have so many ults.
They've lost Unique already. Alfie gunned them out of the sky.
No duplicate.
Oh, and Choice one's gone down. Krong's grab. I don't even know where that went and no one touched. Spark
Well, they were all dead,
gonna go ahead and snag the first map.
I think they just kind of all died there. Choice One does not use duplicate at the end. Their Unique dies. Alpha Yi asserts dominance. And that Choice One versus Alpha Yi aerial battle, the dogfight. Look, I know Top Gun Maverick just came out, but guys, I'm not ready for the third movie in that series just yet. Alpha Yi actually winning that final dogfight. Getting both players down. Choi, if he had duplicated, maybe we continue the fight forwards. Krong, you're right. No idea where that grab went, but you need development Choice One's extra damage put into that grab to convert that into something. I think Guangzhou were in a position to win on an economy side of things, but not in a position to win as far as the positioning, well, using that word a lot here, but as far as the map control goes, doesn't it? Because they have to go for the touch. They are not in control of the actual point itself. If they were in control of the point, I'm confident they would have taken that map away with that level of ultimates, but having to enter with that kind of composition, which is not built to go in and touch and kind of back on out, it's very difficult for the charge, and, well, they got taken down by Alpha Yi.
They did make it close though, Avril, so I've got a little bit more confidence in them for the rest of this series. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, map number 2 and an opportunity for Charge to hit back. Welcome back to the Kickoff Clash Qualifiers. We're in the middle of Hangzhou Spark going up against the Guangzhou Charge. And it's, of course, the Spark leading the series after taking down the Charge on Lijiang Tower. But Charge did make it close. Unfortunately, they had the 5-ult fumble right at the end there on Night Market, which...
only so much you can do.
Yeah.
It's like a fumble, but I think they were coming out of the kitchen on roller skates. Do you know what I mean? Like, they weren't set up for success there at all with the situation that they were in. So, very easy to drop your plate there, I think, in that sort of scenario. So one of those rollerblade diners. That was more than close for me. For me, that was totally winnable for the Charge. Usually there's, on your sliding scale, there's like, nah, there's no chance there to like, yeah, like maybe 2. That was pretty close, and then, right further down, like, man, Charge actually could have won that. Like, seriously could and maybe even should have won that if certain slight things were a little bit different, if they had maybe a little bit more percentage to play through and could slowly push out with 5 ultimates. Just a bunch of maybes, ifs, buts, and could-haves, right? What I'm trying to say is, Charge, at least based off one map, look like they can make this one a series that they could potentially bring back around and win. And I think based on how they play versus Seoul as well, which was a good series despite the 0-3 result, Charge is starting to slowly show that they are capable, more than capable, than what their scoreline on the standings would show. And that's important for this team. Now they just need to convert that into an actual win.
Yeah, getting a win here will be big. It won't change. Unfortunately, doesn't change the outcome of them qualifying for the main event of the Kickoff Clash. But ending the qualifiers, at least on a high, will set them up nicely when we move into the next tournament cycle.
But you win the Showdown. That's important, right? You win the
Showdown, and that's what counts. Well,
Exactly.
hang on a minute. If they win the Showdown, you gave us a nice little recap of the score. Would that mean that they are now 6-4 all time?
They would be. They'd be further ahead in the Showdown. And I think it's a similar thing with the spaghetti ball between Seoul and Philly, where Seoul are now 6-4 instead of 5-4. So, very similar records between these teams. And it's kind of what we're talking about, right? Very close records. Teams that produce good games, usually. And famously enough, these two teams, the last game of the regular season last year was between the Spark and the Charge. And I think Charge actually won that one. Yeah, we got that stat line, didn't we? 3-2. It was a very interesting game back then. So the last time these two faced, right at the bottom end of the last season, Spark coming down with, not the best showing, and Charge really charging up, but it was just too late, right, because the season ended. So we don't want that storyline again. We want Charge in a position where they can actually get some good results, develop on towards the Widowmaker. We know that's probably his one of, if not his best hero. He will be up against Shy with Goose Ray back onto the Rhine.
Yeah, just playing the cheeky little Widow duels right now, checking all the angles, keeping an eye out for the jump shots, but also eyes in the skies against Choi-Zo-Wan, who is sitting on that Echo. Krong, very low, took a body shot there from Shy, I believe, who's climbing up in the percentage.
They got a brawl. Charge losing base.
Yeah, they've just given up so much of this one. I think this is the first time they've actually contested it, and this is why it was so difficult to do that. Alfie runs in with the Mate Wall, and Krong is just cut off from all reinforcements. How do you even go about brawling against that one?
So here's the problem now, Trid, is look at these compositions, look at Krong's hero pool. If we have decided that Zarya is just weaker than Ryan, and I do think Ryan is an advantage in this matchup, but if we have decided that Krong simply cannot brawl into Spark, based on Spark playing what is essentially just a full brawl gear, and Alfie, he's bullying people in spawn, he's going straight and kissing those doors, triple kill already. If they can't win this, if Charge can't straight up brawl into Spark, you might as well call the map over. Let's just send us straight to map 3, because Charge need to find an answer to this so far, and their answer ends up being some poke with Hangzhou, develop, choice of one with some dive pressure. It's the Shimada Bros combo. Unique on a Brig will help Krong in the front lines a lot, but is it enough to get past Alpha on a Mei with Irony supporting on a bat? And he's got a window.
They're just walking in the payload at the moment because of the space that's been taken. Choi-Zo-Wan was the first to break that line, and Shy dealt with him very quickly with a headshot.
Choi needs Reaper. He's on the wrong hero. I hate to say it, he's on the wrong hero. He needs a Reaper. Develop should even consider his own Mei. I mean, if they're trying to brawl, they got to brawl properly. Otherwise, go Sigma, go something else where you actually got to play for poke. Right now, this composition for Charge is not in a position to beat Spark, especially not when they have all these ultimates. Not only do they have the window, they've had that for a while now. They got Blizzard coming up, they have Shatter. Everything going the way of the Hangzhou Spark.
They just cut off the reinforcements again. Choi-Zo-Wan breaks the line, but he's by himself. Nanabu's given over to Krong, about to get that Graviton Surge online. Shattered out of it, I think. Doesn't get it offline. And there's the Blizzard that locks it all down. How are they supposed to contest against this one now? They've got no tank.
Wow.
They constantly get their avenues shut down, and they're being dismantled by the Spark.
I think that one was a clear, let's say, ultimate diff. So we'll give that one to the Spark on the notion of, all right, they had all the ultimates, charge and nothing. They still have just now, by the way, gotten, I think, their first ultimate. That is, no, I lied. They had a nano previous, so this will be their second ultimate. This is Krong's Grav. But what can you do with this Grav? You have the lamp to get past. Maywall's going to block LOS when you grab as well. Very difficult to destroy lamp through that. So
I don't know about this one, Krong. I don't know about this one, Krong. We're going to pop that Graviton Surge down. Yeah, but they're all behind it. Oh, that's a bit of a wrong direction to look, Goosh, where you kind of left your support line out to die, and Charge will take this back and finally be able to wrest control of the payload. But they've given up so much already, Avril. So much of the map is already gone.
They want to fight, though. That's really important, because now they get to set. They reset the Spark for the first time this entire attack. And importantly, like I said, it's the Maywall that I think will do the biggest job of blocking out damage from that grab. Krong notifies, he sees that the Maywall's down, he goes for the grab, and they can actually kill the lamp. That's huge.
Yeah, he'll use the right click to get himself back up onto that high ground to contest. You need to pop the rally, but no one's stopping Shy, who's just walking this one in. Someone has to go and contest him. He's developed to be sent over there to go for the 1v1. While this is going on, Choice A1 goes for the cut down. Ultimates are coming out, fights are being won. This is more like it. Charges. Choice A1 finds a free K, but it is deterred from going after that Mei.
Shy trying to be annoying on the Tracer just to pull attention backwards, but it does say that Spark aren't kind of fully focused on the front-to-back type of fights anymore, and, you know, the Widow does, in my opinion, count for a front-to-back because she's usually playing way behind her own team. So, you know, Shy will be moving over towards the Soldier instead. You'll notice that Spark didn't really have much to play with there. They had the window, but that gets instantly countered by Choice One.
Good Dragon Strike there, splits the fight.
Blizzard's
isolates Goosh Wave, gets that Shatter down. I think he finds Krong and Unique. That nano boost definitely went a long way to keeping Krong online, who's about to get that Graviton Surge back. Yeah, how is he's just been able to get lived and he's just able to survive? Gets pocketed there by Farway, keeping him in that fight, and Spark are backing out once more, and that was an expensive fight for them as well, Avril.
It was basically a solo Blizzard just for Krong, but you have to remember, in Overwatch 2, the tanks have a passive which reduces CC efficiency, so Krong's just like, I'm just going to walk out of the Blizzard, I guess. Grav comes through, charge of the kills here, and this should be a big feed. They'll be able to get a lot of ultimate charge off this.
Yeah, they're just farming them for ult charge. This is a stark contrast to what we saw in the first two stages of Circuit Royale. Charge are now the ones looking incredibly dominant. Now they'll be able to find their footing and reset everything.
Trent, the difference here is that one fight win that they got on the pool side, super important because it resets momentum. It gives Charge some ultimates to play through, and now they get to snowball their ultimates. Spark are the ones changed up their composition. Now, the other thing that's important about them removing the momentum from the Spark is that they have developed playing the sniper, so they get to set up on high ground, have some really efficient poke, and as long as Krong doesn't just get run over by Goose Ray, they're okay. I think Spark probably changed off a little early, but they've lost confidence in the Ryan composition at this stage, so they've got to play full dive.
Find their targets. Lots of avenues to play around up in the high ground here. Staring down on the payload. Played at distance for the time being. Farway has got that nano when things do get kicked off. Bionade thrown in. I don't think that... Oh, it connects with Gouget and Super Wit. Rich doesn't find the sleep dart. Nano boost given over to Krong, who seems to be the focus point of all that damage boosting. Shy and the rest of the team's forced to retreat. They're being cut down as they're trying to lead. Charge. Fight after fight after fight, they are taking Spark to town right now.
Yeah, they've completely 180'd this one. It looked like it could have been over in the first two points, considering Charge didn't even take a fight on A. They just kept backing it out, kept backing it out, kept backing it out. Literal free count from the Spark. Didn't see too much difference on B. To be fair, Spark won that off of a massive ultimate advantage. Now the ultimate's still very much in the favor of the Charge. Just have to break this bubble, then the nade can come on in. Or I guess Goose Ray can die.
Goose Ray just dies, unfortunately. Nice right click there, assisting the kills. Final attempt for Spark. You know, they've tried to get a couple of ultimates out of the Charge. It just leaves both the Shimada brother ultimates basically to play with in that next fight.
Well, you know,
that nano boost from Irony could be a good tool for Goose Ray, though.
The crazy thing is, not only have we 180'd in terms of who's winning, but we've 180'd in styles as well, because Charge are now the one with the superior brawl style for this part of the map, and they're basically, you know, in the main choke. Choi's got another blade, he's just cut people up.
Yeah, hard to escape. Doesn't matter how fast you run if you're locked in a tiny Overwatch room with Choice A1's blade. 30 seconds remaining. Fast reset for the Spark, that's what they need, because they're going to have to do this in overtime at this rate, Avril.
Yeah, well, they have ultimates finally coming in. Could be a Nano Blade here. Gushue has tools to play with as well. Alpha usually needs a little bit of damage.
Oh, he's not even going to get the blade online at this rate. He's so low in HP. 20 HP gets the healing. Goes in with the blade afterwards, but that health pressure shut down the blade. He just couldn't go in without getting some sustain first, and Choice A1's easily there for the pickup. Charge have done enough. They've just shut down Spark after just being beaten around for the first couple of stages of this map.
Well, I think this is a pretty difficult map to finish anyway, just because of the high ground, low ground type of geometry that you do see in the casino phase for C. But, you know, I kind of have to touch up a little bit more on what happened towards that BC transfer, you know, kind of going from B to C there, because it did look like Guangzhou were on the wrong composition. If you do want to try and brawl Spark in this, I don't know, you are playing Azari at the end of the day, so it's kind of, you're on the one of the brawl tanks, as it were. You kind of need to be going something like a Mei Reaper to try and play up against what Spark were doing on their Mei. A Mei Reaper would overpower just a Mei plus Orion. There's the BAP as well. But Charge opted for, I guess, more of a slight poke kind of strategy that also has the capability of diving deep if Choi finds an opportunity to actually go in. Take a look at the final moments here as well from Farway's POV. Yeah, that'll just be Gushue sleeping on the job there. But again, for me, it really comes down to that pivotal fight in the pool section of C, where Krong got the exact grab he needed to. Spark could not trade effectively. And then after that, they were in the spin cycle of the Guangzhou Charge, because you see Charge finally get ultimates online. Importantly, they were at an ultimate deficit for so long. And once they start to get a bit of a roll on with their own momentum defensively, Hangzhou just abandoned their brawl strategy entirely. So at that point, they were going to be behind for the rest of the map because they don't have ultimates.
Well, they're bringing that same comp this time for the defense at point A. The Mei and the Widowmaker combo, Alpha Yi and Shy. Let's see if they stick confidence with this one, and this comp works just as well on the defense as it does offense. This time Charge have a little bit more aggression in their pocket. They're bringing out the Hangzhou and the Echo to play with to try and break through this defense.
The Hangzhou will struggle a little bit against Shy's Widowmaker here. I think it would still be more preferable for Develop to be on that to Widowmaker to start with, unless he believes it's too hard to shoot through Goose's shield. That could be possibly the reason why he wants to play this, just for that extra shield break. I said he'd struggle, but I guess you could just snipe Shy from across the map. That works. Well done.
Yeah, that also works. They've cracked the Spark defense already with a great shot coming in from Develop. And they're just boxing Spark into the tiny Overwatch room. They go out the back door, but they've split off this squad. Bit of a stagger to be done. And they're away from the payload as well, so they can try and farm this a little bit longer. The Super Rich sprints his way back in to the loving laser beam of Choice A1. That's
literally 5 kills for no deaths for the Guangzhou Charge. And all off the back of Develop, opening things up on Shy, breaking shield the Gushue, collecting a second kill. The unfortunate thing about Spark's composition is they can't disengage very effectively from their range, so they had to go in. What I'm disappointed about from the Spark is you have what I would consider this the way superior composition in terms of actually brawling. You got to go in. You actually have to go in, speed boost in, get Gushue in there as well. Use a Mei. Well, there you go. You caught Krong, possibly.
Just need to finish Krong off, please. There you go. Alpha Yi actually gets him this time. No escaping. Valiant effort there from Gushue to catch the Flying Mercy, but will not be able to do so with the pin. Develop finds Shy once more. Charge might be able to turn this one around. They've taken out the Immortality Field. Dragon Strike cuts through as well. Gushue has to get out of there. Most Ricky Tick. They do have control of the payload. That was not as clean as they wanted it to be.
I mean, it's a really weird window, but it actually baits out a Dragon Strike, so we'll have to say that if Shy finally gets a kill there, we have to say that, you know, kind of saved the Spark a little bit in terms of irony. He got justified in terms of Develop also popping one in. Shy finally being on the scoreboard is important as well, because he's actually died to Develop twice now in this defense, and well, Spark just can't quite afford to have those early deaths in a 5 versus 5, but at the same time as well, you know, this is a good position for the Spark to be in. They can play this indoor shop area. There's no flanking routes available for the Charge, so Charge at this rate kind of just need to wait for poke. They can play ultimates. They're having to play into a shadow pretty soon. This Blizzard will be really nasty to play into because Charge have to go for payload, and that's going to be the best place to put Blizzard.
Okay, there's another Ryan on the field now. Choice A1's go for the duplication. Already lost that clone. I think he only got about 2% ult charge there as well. But Alpha Yi will find Develop. And Guangzhou Charge are on the back foot once more. If it's not Shy getting a pick onto Choice A1 before the fight even begins, it's an Alpha Yi just with a cheeky right-click on the Icicle. And they've got the Blizzard to play with now and the Earth Shatter. Spark can stall this out for the minute.
Yeah, I mean, they've had both of those ultimates already, but they didn't need to use anything, right? They just had the Infrasight being popped in there. That was extremely cheap fight. I don't consider Infrasight to be a huge ultimate anyway. Choice of one now going over towards the Genji. So brilliant stuff in terms of you want to duplicate. Cool, duplication instantly gone. He must have dropped shield and Alfie just got the dink. That'll be enough. Charger kind of wasting time. They've got to use this now. They've got to get in with that grab.
Well, Krong's close to it. One more tick of damage should do it. Grab online. Waiting for the right time.
He's got zero energy though.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for them. Needs to be able to combo it with something, but Choice One's not having the best of luck getting it done.
That's it.
Develop Shy wants more. He opened it up. He's keeping them in the game so far on the cusp of getting that time extension. Krong still needs to get that damage online. Got the Graviton Surge. He moves in with it. He's fired it out to the back. Catches Gooseway from behind when he goes for the retreat. Pins there. Wall expires just in time. He's going to send him off the map instead. Oh, he times it perfectly. Gooseway gets Krong off the map. He's going to find the shadow onto develop, but doesn't have the damage even with the double fire strike. Guangzhou Spark have done enough to shut down the charge. They will not get an extension, and point A was the difference maker for both of these teams. Spark go to match point.
Certainly is. I mean, wow. And this is what I wanted to see Hangzhou Spark keep doing on that C offense as well. Believe in the Rhine. Believe that this is a composition that can carry you through for the rest of the game. But they lost confidence, went to the Winston, didn't work out. Yeah, they defend perfectly, charge. Don't get to really force ultimates out at all. So you have a situation where you get the final fight. Blizzard has maximum value at that stage. Another interesting interaction was you saw that Arnie popped down the window from his bat, but there was no Dragon Strike because I believe Develop must have been 1 or 2% off. I saw him at 99% while the window was running, and at the perfect time when you would expect the charge to actually make an aggressive play and walk in with the grab, they couldn't because they were very much respecting the window. They did not want to walk into the window. They had no counter to the window, and that allowed the Spark to come back in and reclaim space and eventually win with Blizzard, Earth Shatter, Sound Barrier, everything that they had kept in their pocket.
Spark are in a dominant position. They are leading the series, and they are at match point. When we go to the break, we'll be coming back. Midtown's going to be where we could settle it all. Welcome back to the Kickoff Clash qualifiers. It's the Spark versus the Charge, and Spark are at match point as we head into our third and potentially final map, Avril. That game, I mean, Charge, they look like they have had some good defense on point C, and maybe we're in a position to turn it around, because that performance at the end of their defense was dominant, but they really struggled to find anything on point A, both offense and defense, when it came to Circuit Royale.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a sort of position now where I think Charge looked in a very good position on Lijiang, where they could have won it, maybe should have won that one. But then we go to Circuit Royale, and it was looking great when they hit that C defense because of the huge momentum shift and Spark resetting their ultimates on a new comp. But A and B, that's the talking points, right? I'm going to call that one a slight comp diff, but not even a slight comp diff. I think it's a pretty major comp diff, because Zarya and Dorian at that stage of the map, yeah, it's not a good matchup for Krong at all. So you saw just how cautious and trepidatious Guangzhou Charge were, because it was so difficult for them to engage. So they decided to play a poke composition. Develop was doing its best. There's only so much a single Hangzhou can do after you've killed Shy twice already. Moving on to map number 3, which I hope it's not the last map of the Showdown, because, I mean, usually these games can be really good. Last time we went to a full 5-map series trip, but now it's not looking pretty for the Charge, and it reminds me so much of the Seoul series, but even more heartbreaking, because here they're playing even better and even closer to how they played versus Spark compared to how they played up against Seoul. So I feel like versus Seoul, they probably weren't going to win. Here, I feel like there should at least be one map in the series. And at minimum, we should be looking at a 1-1. They can still bring one in here. They can still definitely do a lot, because we have substitution. Burner coming in for Gushrey. Some fans might be disappointed. You're thinking, oh, but Gushrey just won 2 maps, which, by the way, Gushrey hadn't won any maps up until his previous series, and now in this series he's just won 2 back-to-back. But Burner's here to play the Zarya. It is going to be Zarya versus Zarya. Not a Winston map, not a Doom map, not a Rhine map. It's a Zarya map, and we're going to have a Zarya mirror.
Spark opting for the Genji choice. Choice A1 sticking on the Echo for the time being. Unique also being the only variation here, bringing us the Brigitte instead of the Echo. But legs are on the field. Well, only one is now, as Choice A1 finds Shy. And Spark are going to have to call that offense early as they wait for the respawns to come in.
That's the good news about attacking. You can go down early, but you'll just reset. Choice A1. I mean, you can definitely do some cool things with the Echo here. Notably, as you can see, just sort of popping up and down from that train bridge area. That'll be the main strength of the Echo compared to the Genji. The Spark have taken Fire Station now, with Alpha E definitely on that flank, so they can sort of use this positioning to start. They can either try and collapse high ground, or I guess just make their way towards the actual point itself. Keeping Shy alive is huge here.
Yeah, life-saving bubble there, as they're now claiming squatters' rights on the Fire Station. Bernard's found Krong. That's not good for the Charge at all. You're missing your Zarya, and you have a reset of the energy as well. Choice A1 descends from the heavens, finds Shy. Can't get the focusing beam as Alfie comes in clutch to take down the Echo. And surely that's going to be the majority of point A, at least going over to the Spark.
I mean, when you have a tank just dying with no trade, that's going to be it. No idea how Burner got the kill into Krong. Sadly, we not going to be able to find out what happened there, but that's a huge diff. That's a massive diff. So it's 5 versus 4 with bubbles up for the Spark. No tank, no bubbles for the Charge. Krong already been taken down to halfway, but because he's low, because Guangzhou Charge have taken more damage, Farway has the first nano, so they should probably look to use this nano very soon.
Krong got taken even lower there right at the end, Avril. He's sitting on life support right there until he got some assistance from his backline.
They need to nano. They're waiting too long.
Yeah, they're giving over too much ultimate charge over the Shy as well. He got so much free damage. And it's not even that being the deciding factor in this fight, because Albi and Super Rich went and found Develop and Unique, and Krong just gets taken down there because there's just no support.
This feels like Circuit Royale all over again. You know, the lack of initiation, the lack of clean, clear decision-making, quick decision-making from the Guangzhou Charge. Spark are in control. They're constantly in the driver's seat. They've got their hands firmly on that wheel of the fire truck going down into the underpass now. And Charge, they're falling asleep behind the wheel. How is Iron the first one to use nano?
I have no idea here, but Alfie is just given free reign. They're mechanic testing Avril. They're just testing the speed of the payload right now. There's no one stopping them from moving this.
Farway had a 30 to 40% nano advantage on Irony, and Charge did nothing with that. And now they're about to cap Spark that I'm talking about here. Krong's still waiting for first grab. He's not that far off from Bernard, but essentially we've had a non-factor A, we've had a non-factor B. There was one good fight on A, where Charge, well, I say good fight, it's a good fight for Spark. Charge didn't really do too much there. Another, not really a fight on B, is it? It's just kind of Charge getting rocked over. This is almost a complete parallel to Circuit. It's the exact same thing, but on Circuit, Guangzhou Charge did defend C. They're going to have to do that again.
Krong's in a position to have that Graviton Surge again, though, Avril. So the miracle can repeat itself. Have Spark learn to avoid that all-important ultimate when it comes down to these next
Why do I
fights.
feel like Bernard goes first? Why do I feel like that?
Because they've taken the initiation, but he can't go first right now. He's under a lot of pressure after getting dinked. But Krong finds Shy. Doesn't have to use the grab just yet to get that done. Alpha Yi struggling to deflect all the damage coming his way. Still keeping the pressure on Develop and trying to lock down that
Hang on,
Widowmaker,
Charge
not
were
allowing him to open up
5v4,
sights.
and they haven't successfully pushed yet. Here we go, finally they're doing something.
Okay, there you go. But very slowly they're doing something, though. They've just taken out Alpha Yi, but it doesn't feel like
Still
there's
have
been
a
that
5v4.
crescendo yet.
Still
They have
on
the advantage,
5v4.
like I said, they're not really doing anything with it.
No, they're not. They have about 4 ultimates now. So the way this should go is they've lost 2 to 3, 2.5-ish fights in a row. They have ultimate advantage because they haven't spent just yet. Spark have spent, which means it's Charge's turn to spend and win, but they haven't done that yet. They haven't actually reset the Spark, despite getting 2 kills.
Yep. Because Spark have had enough time to get the reinforcements back into the fight. Yeah, Bernard's just going to have to build up his charge. He's not got anything right now. Try and contest Krong with those right clicks.
Irony's on his
Playing around
second
terrain
nano.
beautifully.
Parway hasn't used his first one.
Are you okay, Avril? I feel like you're molding a little bit here.
I'm wearing the Charge colors, and we're losing! I should have worn that pink sweater that you have on. Let's swap next time.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll send it over to you. But there's that Graviton Surge we were looking for. Just finds Bernard. Certainly not as impactful as it was on Circuit Royale. Not going to be the game changer as Krong also on the cusp of going down. Bernard leaps in with a Graviton Surge of his own. Alpha Yi in the middle of the fight. And it's the Bionade from Irony that should seal the deal here. Krong gets the nano boost over. Still up, but not there. Choice A1 has to duplicate to make sure they have one tank on the field. Manages to dismantle one of them before dropping down, but it's Irony going to take out the duplication. Home stretch here for the Spark. They've got 2 minutes 45 to cap, and it's Charge sprinting out the spawn room.
And Spark aren't out of ultimates just yet. Here comes Shy. Alpha E's up next. They still have tools to play through. Bernard still has energy. Charge. It's time to touch.
Krong's there right now, keeping the pressure on, able to keep it contested. They can't just walk it in. Forces
Watch Alpha
Shy
Yi.
away. Alpha Yi is about to get that blade online. He's harassing Unique and will get the kill to lock it in. Just wants to remove Krong from this fight as fast as possible. The bubbles will not give him invulnerability. Turns his attention to Develop. And there's the secure for the Spark. 2 minutes 13 on the clock. They will not fall victim to the Krong grab again.
Nope. Which is a sad set of affairs when you think back to Circuit, because that that C defense was the one shiny beacon, that was the one good time for the Charge to kind of, here's our win. We're finding fight wins now. We're going to prevent the full cap from coming on through. They're attacking side, so here's what needs to happen on the attacking side. Definitely need to be very decisive compared to defense, where it felt like even twice in a row they had a 5v4 advantage, had no confidence to push on in. You're on attack now. And I mean, the attack version of not pushing on in is, I guess, staying in spawn. So they kind of need to do some stuff. They kind of really need to be the team that can be in control and pull the trigger, because they're just, the safety's been on, Trid, the whole time. Safety on that gun has been on the whole time. Time to take the safety off.
They're waiting for the Field Marshal to yell loose so they can let the arrows fly finally. And just no one's doing it.
Were there field marshals in the Middle Ages to yell loose?
I don't know what the correct role would have been.
Have you combined two separate periods of history here, Trid?
Well, you could have had a field marshal in the past. I don't know. Military history isn't my strong suit, Avril. Hopefully you can fill in the blanks here. But I'd rather, actually, I want to get your opinion on this. The Alpha Yi Torb, what do you feel? Because this came out in week 1 as well. Like, Alpha Yi's Torb, what are we feeling on mid-town for this, by the way?
Yep. We're Morbin Torben time. That's what it is.
Ah, mighty
Morbin
Torben
time. Oh dear. Well, I hate to say it, but if this works, it will be a sad state of affairs. But we'll see, because Shy's already down. Guangzhou, balls in your court again. 5 versus 4, and you've killed the turret. Come on, fellas.
Yeah.
Kick it up to second gear. Let's see it.
Burner gets enough healing, and the bubble stops the onslaught from Develop. Dynamite over the top, so there will be tick damage to fight through as well. A couple of return shots, keeps the Ashe in check. Alfie's got a replacement turret down, and they're boxing him in the tiny Overwatch room. Unique can't stay out there for too long. Krong's running low as well. Where's the support for him? They have to come back for him. He will be able to be sustained up, just not in range for Alfie to be able to get around that corner. The fight is muted. Charge yet to pull the trigger, but they are getting in position for it.
1 minute gone. Thereabouts. Nano available. Safari once again, first Nano. Beautiful stuff.
Develop.
Straight onto Krong. Develop might be in trouble, but Krong's at least walking up.
Shy's found him. Krong's walking up. He had the Nano boost. That gave him the confidence. The Field Marshal says, yes, you can play Overwatch today. The Shy runs
Loose.
away. Yeah, loose. The Field Marshal yells loose. This is the new farm animal book you get. You know those little spinners, you pull the cord and you get noises sent at you. Krong just going to burn down Alfie. I don't think he wins this 1v1. And yeah, very staggered kills. Hopefully that bodes well for Charge. There won't be a unified defense from the Spark to try and contest this.
Alrighty, and pretty cheap fight win. I appreciate that from the Charge. Single Nano to Krong. Despite Development going down, they still push as a unit. They already had a kill to work with a little bit earlier. Seems like Super Rich was coming in. Spark are not done with this one. They just feed themselves to the grab.
Yeah, great grab, Dynamite comboed on top. No one able to touch that, but they've committed themselves into an awkward position here. Bernard gets slept. Bubble comes online. Will get developed as they just charge into the animal that has been nano boosted. There's the grab online for him as well. It just burns Unique. He's got so much energy to play with, and the team is rallying behind him. And that looked very shaky for the Spark, but they are going to get control of this payload very quickly.
So the cap did actually come on through, which is very important there. Spark try as they might, they couldn't prevent that one, but they did actually bait out a couple of ultimates. So the important thing for Spark there is they might not have won the fight, but they make it expensive for the Charge to say, look, if you are going to cap this one, you're not going to get it for free. You will have to spend ultimates, and now the ultimates for the Spark are online. Notably, we are also going to see the Molten Core, and with the Molten Core, it is mighty Morphin Torben time.
Krong is so sad right now. He used both of his bubbles and got anti-naded, and he's probably staring at this midget running at him with the Molten Core. There's not really much anything else he could do about it. Yeah, with the Morph Launcher. Krong there to attack Bernard, but it's an easy retreat for the Spark. They're not really under the pressure here until Choice A1 jumps out with the Dragon Blade. Got a bit of the rally to assist him, but he's out of range of that ultimate for now. He jumps into the fight, and here's some good clearance. Charge. Avril, for some reason, they figured out they're allowed to play Overwatch. They're allowed to do things without asking for permission.
Well, what I think is good here is that Charge are blessing us with some highlight clips from Midtown of their performance after the match, so that's good. You know, we need some good Charge clips afterwards. It can't just be Spark clips, right? So can we get this cap, though? That's the important thing. Krong has Graviton Surge online, so far it's the only thing to work through. Spark have a decent amount. Nano Visor to be the main play here. The rally should be able to slightly counter the grab, or not so much for Burner.
Too much damage there coming in. You had a Zarya, you had the Helix Rocket. Shy answers back by taking out Krong, so both tanks traded. Spawn advantage in favor of Sparks. They will have that numbers advantage until Develop opens up on Super Rich. Shy and Alpha answer back though. No supports for the Charge. This will be them claiming the payload right on the cusp of a point B extension.
2 minutes still. Spark in position to bleed this time and down. I think even potentially to OT.
Ooh.
That's a scary concept for the Charge, who at this point are dry outside of the Nano Boost coming online for far away. But look, if we can get this next fight win underway for Charge and they can't win it off this Nano alone, first of all, it would be cheap. Second of all, they would actually have a reasonable time bank to work with for a potential cap. So I would say for the success of Charge's entire campaign on this map to win, this is probably one of, if not the most important fight currently.
Looking towards just that Nano Boost. In fact, Develop might have the Tactical Visor online if they can get a bit of poke in before the conflict kicks off. Nano Visor, very potent combination still. It's available for them to use. As they develop in, they're committing it over. They want to go in. Tactical Visor online, doesn't find the kill. That's heart-wrenching, as now he has to go on the hunt to try and secure it. Super Rich can hold the shield for a little bit. It gets sustained. What a blunder from the Charge to allow Super Rich to escape like that.
Okay, they got the Visor now. Charge, we've still got just about a minute left to go, but the ultimate's online for Spark in just a hot second.
Choice A1's napping.
He's gone for it. Choi's alive, barely. And the Vice is
so
gone.
much tension given over. Wait, Bernard's grab. Where did that even go? Who has he got? Develop is going to trade out both Zarias off the field again. Alpha Yi finds Develop and Unique. 45 seconds remaining. Charge will have one more attempt to get an extension, and they're running into both damage ultimates and potentially the Nano from Irony as well.
So this is what I'm talking about, right? Because that one Nano faraway fight was the one time I think they had a clear advantage and just it's like a slightly better neutral. Now we're in a sort of situation where Spark have tools to use. They have positional control because they're the ones defending payload. Charge have to be the ones pushing in. Look, the high ground control's been taken away as well, which is probably an obvious thing that Spark are going to get. Nano Visor's going to be online. A single rally is not going to be good enough to defend against that. So Charge are in a really rough spot here. They have to probably deny both the Nano Visor and or a Nano Blade, depending on where the Nano goes, but they have to get past both the DPS ultimates.
Right, they're going over to Alfie with the Nano Blade. Develop's already been removed from the field. Choi going to answer back with a dry blade. He's got the rally to assist. He's found Super Rich though. It's not all over for the Charge just yet. The Sleep Dart comes in on the Choi 1, sending him napping. Helix Rockets for the burst. And now there's no damage dealers on the field for Charge. Develop switched over to the Tracer to get back. Unique's not long for this world. Far away is shortly going to fall afterwards. And the Spark will seal the deal. A 3-0 series. They are pushing for the #1 seed.
They certainly are, and I think for the Hangzhou Spark as well, they're in a position where they very well could be our top seed because their next game is also versus the Fusion, where Fusion are not looking their best currently. They will play today, so maybe we'll get an update on how they are doing, but Spark are very, I think, comfortably looking at that #1 seed. They can definitely get it past Seoul because they also beat Seoul as far as a tiebreaker scenario goes. Spark are honestly looking so damn solid. I think Charge are on their way up, but just not going quickly enough. I mean, they're climbing the stairs on this massive tower, and Spark are in an elevator. It's just not a close race whatsoever. Got a bit of false hope on that first league junk. Super close. I think Charge probably could have won that one still. I'm going to go back onto that and, you know, draw my line in the sand and kind of die on that hill. However, the next two maps in a row, not close at all. Yes, I know Charge defended C, but why does it? Doesn't even really matter, does it? Because the fight was lost on A. The game was lost on A. Spark completely demolished them on the Circuit Royale. Midtown, yeah, we got through A, we got to B, but I don't think Spark were ever out of control. I don't think the Spark were ever they never had their hands off the wheel the entire time. So, you know, firmly in the driver's seat. Spark will take the Joe down, 2022 edition, 3-0.
5 apiece now in their all-time record, right, Avril? They've now tied out the Joe down scoreline.
Yep.
So we come down to the next tournament cycle and we see them going at it again. Someone will be able to pull back ahead, and the way things are going right now, it seems like the Spark are going to have the edge. But like you said, Charger on the up and up right now. We're going to take a look at the player of the match though. Alpha Yi had a fantastic performance. Lots of highlight clips coming out here on the Genji today. But also when he was jumping onto the Echo to have an impact on the earlier maps.
I mean, this is literally the game-winning play from Alpha Yi right at the end there. Completely demolishes both Unique and Choice of One, who, again, I'll remind you, didn't end up using his dupe in that particular fight. Spawn camping on the Mei here. Actually, pretty sick on the Mei. I don't really remember seeing much of Alpha Yi Mei because in Contenders China with Billy, they never really played Mei. It was mostly Dive last year, right? So this is my first time really seeing his Mei. Kind of good. We saw an Invasion Mei yesterday and started getting the brain moving. And thinking could Mei be played somewhere. Obviously, we know Mei is played in the composition of Brawl, and I really appreciate that Spark showed the Brawl with the Mei and also the Goose Ray Ryan together, because it kind of gives them this extra layer of depth to say that, hey, we're not just this one-dimensional team. We can play multiple compositions, succeed with multiple compositions, and you have to be prepared to play up against us in multiple different looks. And now, Goose Ray no longer cursed. Both him and Burner getting wins.
It's fantastic for them to be able to see as well, and I love the fact that this team, the Spark anyway, they managed to recruit a bunch of rookies, and Alpha Yi, I believe being one of them, is just absolutely shining so far in the first tournament cycle. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a deeper look at that game.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League, and by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.